November 24th, 1971, Thanksgiving Eve. A man in a business suit boards Northwest Orient Flight 305 in Portland, Oregon. His destination, Seattle. He carries a briefcase and a paper bag. He orders a bourbon and soda. To the flight attendant, he's just another businessman heading home for the holiday, but within minutes, he will execute one of the most audacious crimes in American history, and then he will vanish into thin air. This is the story of D.B. Cooper, the only unsolved case of air piracy in United States history. It's 2:50 p.m. when Northwest Orient Flight 305 takes off from Portland International Airport. There are 36 passengers aboard, along with a crew of 6. Shortly after takeoff, the man in seat 18C, who had purchased his ticket under the name Dan Cooper, passes a note to flight attendant Florence Schaffner. At first, she thinks he's hitting on her. She tucks the note into her pocket without reading it. That's when he leans close and whispers, "Miss, you'd better look at that note. I have a bomb." Florence's hands shake as she unfolds the paper. The message is simple and terrifying. "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." She sits. Cooper opens his briefcase just enough for her to see inside. Red cylinders, wires, and a large battery. Whether real or fake, she can't take the chance. Cooper's demands are specific: $200,000 in $20 bills, 4 parachutes, fuel trucks standing by in Seattle. He's calm, professional, almost courteous. He even offers to request meals for the passengers during the extended delay. Florence delivers the demands to the cockpit. Captain William Scott alerts air traffic control. The FBI is notified. The plane circles Puget Sound for 2 hours while authorities scramble to meet Cooper's demands. On the ground, the FBI photographs the serial numbers of $10,000 $20 bills. Bank employees work frantically to bundle the cash. Parachutes are gathered from a local skydiving school. At 5:24 p.m., Flight 305 lands at Seattle-Tacoma Airport. A single man approaches the plane, a Northwest Orient employee carrying a heavy canvas bag. Inside, the money and parachutes. Cooper releases all 36 passengers in exchange for the ransom. He keeps the flight crew. Now comes the escape. Cooper's new demands are precise, almost as if he's planned every detail. Fly to Mexico City, maintain an altitude of 10,000 feet, unusual for a commercial flight. Keep the cabin unpressurized. Set the wing flaps to 15 degrees. Fly with the landing gear down. The crew knows what this means. He's going to jump. At 7:40 p.m., the 727 takes off from Seattle with only Cooper and the crew aboard. The flight plan: a southeastern route toward Reno, Nevada, where they'll refuel before continuing to Mexico. Cooper orders the crew into the cockpit and tells them to stay there. He lowers the rear air stair, a unique feature of the 727 that opens downward from the tail of the aircraft. Somewhere over the wilderness of southwestern Washington, on a cold, moonless night, with rain pelting the aircraft and winds howling at 200 miles per hour, D.B. Cooper steps into the darkness. At 8:13 p.m., the crew feels a sudden upward movement of the tail section. The plane's oscillation is later confirmed by an Air Force fighter jet that had been tracking Flight 305 from a distance. When the plane lands in Reno and authorities storm aboard, they find Cooper's abandoned tie, the clip-on variety, his mother-of-pearl tie pin, 8 of the $10,000 $20 bills scattered in the cabin, and the rear air stair, still open, swaying in the Nevada night. Cooper is gone. The largest manhunt in FBI history begins immediately, but the question everyone asks is simple. Could anyone actually survive that jump? The FBI immediately begins reconstructing Cooper's likely landing zone. Based on the plane's flight path, fuel consumption, and the moment of the pressure bump, they focus on a remote area near the town of Ariel, Washington, dense forest along the Lewis River. Hundreds of agents comb the wilderness. Military personnel search from helicopters. Tracking dogs follow scent trails that lead nowhere. They find nothing. No parachute, no body, no money. The investigation reveals tantalizing clues. Cooper knew aircraft. His instructions for altitude, flaps, and landing gear were too specific for an amateur. He may have been a former paratrooper or Air Force veteran. He was familiar with the Pacific Northwest. His chosen flight path suggests local knowledge. He was methodical, ordering 4 parachutes so authorities wouldn't give him a sabotaged one, knowing they wouldn't risk civilian jumpers. But he also made mistakes. He jumped at night in a rainstorm over forested mountains, wearing only a business suit and loafers. The temperature outside the aircraft was 7 degrees below zero. The wind chill, deadly. Experts debate his fate. Some say he died on impact, that his body lies undiscovered in the remote Cascade Wilderness, or was washed away by the Columbia River. Others insist he survived, that he was too smart, too prepared, too calm to have failed. Then, in 1980, something changes everything. 8-year-old Brian Ingram is on a family camping trip along the Columbia River near Vancouver, Washington. He's digging in the sand when he uncovers 3 packets of soggy, deteriorating $20 bills. The FBI examines the serial numbers. They match Cooper's ransom money. But even this discovery raises more questions than answers. How did the money get there? If Cooper died, where is his body? If he survived, why abandon nearly $6,000? The bills were found miles from the suspected drop zone. Had they washed downstream? Had Cooper hidden them intentionally? To this day, no one knows. Over 5 decades, the FBI has investigated more than 800 suspects. None have ever been charged. Richard Floyd McCoy. Just 5 months after Cooper's jump, McCoy hijacked a United Airlines flight using an almost identical method. He successfully parachuted with $500,000 and was caught 2 days later. Many investigators believe he was Cooper, but there's a problem. Witnesses described Cooper as mid-40s. McCoy was 29. The FBI officially ruled him out. Kenneth Christiansen, a former paratrooper and Northwest Orient employee. Christiansen allegedly told his brother before he died, "There is something you should know, but I cannot tell you." He left behind $200,000 in his estate, unusual for a man of modest means. But the FBI found no conclusive evidence. Robert Rackstraw, a decorated Vietnam veteran with Special Forces training, Rackstraw had the skills and the connections. He died in 2019, but a team of investigators claims to have decoded letters sent to newspapers after the hijacking, allegedly containing hidden messages from Cooper himself. Barbara Dayton. Some theorists believe Cooper was actually a woman, possibly Dayton, a transgender woman and recreational skydiver. Her friends say she hinted at being Cooper, but the evidence is circumstantial at best. The truth? We may never know. In 2016, after 45 years, the FBI officially closed the D.B. Cooper case. They've released most of the evidence to the public, hoping amateur sleuths might succeed where they failed. So what happened to Cooper? Did he die in the jump, his body lost to the wilderness forever? Did he survive, live quietly for decades, and take his secret to the grave? Or is he still out there somewhere? An old man with the world's greatest secret. The Cooper case represents something unique in American criminal history. Not just an unsolved mystery, but a perfect crime. No one was hurt, the airline was insured, and one man outsmarted the entire federal government. In our modern world of cameras, databases, and digital tracking, D.B. Cooper's escape feels impossible. A relic of a simpler time when a man could simply disappear. Perhaps that's why we're still fascinated. Because deep down, we wonder if someone could pull it off today.